So Citra and Sam meet the moms. Robert and Sophie revisit the mom. So that's kind of a theme for this episode of 90 Day Fiance. I want to start off though with Clayton and Anali. Those two are somewhat in the outs because again he brings up her dad and how she's been keeping him a secret for a couple of years. She said, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I thought you understood the situation. So they kind of got out on the outs after he and his friend started trying to learn Peruvian dance for their wedding. So is their wedding going to happen? Hopefully so. Hopefully they can get over this hump. And I really do want to see what's up with Anali and why she's been keeping Clayton a secret. Ashley and Manuel, money continues to be an issue. He feels that she should spend her money on his family. And though I feel it's legitimate because the family has needs and he can't make money until they get married and he gets his visa, still I see Ashley's side, which is basically it's my money and I should be able to do what I want with it. By me giving you some money for your family, you should at least be appreciative of that. But he's looking at every penny she spends, things on herself, and he's feeling, hey, that could go to my family. But I think that's unfair, and I think that he should be appreciative of what she is giving to his family because she doesn't really have to do anything just because she signed up to be with you. I mean, she could say, hey, it's on you. You need to figure out what you're going to do. You're the one that came here. You should have had something set up for your family in the first place. I mean, we can go both ways on this. You can blame either side if you want to. But at the end of the day, what she's doing, I think he should be appreciative of. And it is her money, and she shouldn't feel bad about spending it on things that she needs and things that she wants. So that's an issue, but it looks like next week they're going to be making up in the bathroom. Don't want to get into that, and that's the public restroom, by the way. All right, Sophie and Robert, here we go with meeting the family, meeting the mom. Moms kind of have a lot to do with this episode. Robert has met Sophie's mom before, but they have a contentious relationship. They kind of got into it a little bit when they met her at her hotel room. Then she goes to his place and finally sees his place, and she doesn't get upset right away, but she kind of says, you knew she was coming. You could have planned to get a little bit better place or a bigger place because it's not even a 1-bedroom. And she said, it's fine for you and a bachelor pad, but not, you knew she was coming. And you could have saved up, for this last year for her to come. And he was saying, well, I was been paying for her to come up here and see me and for us to be together. We were staying at another place for a couple months. So that's where all the money went. And now at least we can go find a place together. Then Sophie comes out saying, but you didn't even get a job. So all of this stuff comes out and they kind of gang up on Robert. But I mean, what does he expect? He said they've never been at the bottom and they can easily just get out of situations. I don't know how true all that is, but whatever the case, I really think that he should step up and he should take responsibility instead of being a baby about it and saying, making these excuses. Honestly, at this point, you could just step up and say, okay, you guys are right. I'm going to step up. These are some things that I'm going to try to do. I'm going to plan some things. I'm going to work on some things. Then I think it will be a better outcome. But, he's just busy defending himself, kind of being a big baby, in my opinion. And he does really need to man up. I don't think it's fair for them to jump on him, but he needs to stand up and man up and say, I'm up for this challenge. And then the ladies that will probably back off some and see, if he really is a man of his word. Then we go to Gino and Jasmine. Jasmine makes a big revelation about being afraid to have kids. Gino really wants kids, but she didn't want kids. And she makes kind of a big revelation of why, not knowing that her child is neurodivergent and the way that her child is treated publicly because of their behavior and things are different with them than other kids. And she doesn't want to have another child that goes through that and it hurts her. And she doesn't really know if she wants to go through that again. And Gino is saying he'll be by her side, whatever happens, that he's compassionate towards how she's feeling. But, at the end of the day, he still might want a kid. He is saying, it doesn't really matter. And at the end of the day, that's what I believe as well. And I know I just saw at the end of the day, it's like a term that's going to be taking out at 2024. They're saying, don't say at the end of the day, sorry. It's stuck in my vocabulary. I will continue to say at the end of the day, even though that phrase seems to be expired as of 2024. But anyhow, she loves her kid, of course, but it's hard for her to deal with. But they can deal with it together, and he's open to it. He's understanding of the situation. Of course, he loves her children already. So, but Jasmine comes up with these new revelations and these deeper parts of herself. And, I wish her all the best, and I pray for her, because there's a lot going on with her, and she's not just one note, which it seems like it appears at times, but she has a lot of different things going on and a lot more depth to her. But I wish her the best, and I hope that she's able to handle some of her challenges better, because she does cry and whine a lot. And I would like her to be a little bit, like a big girl, just like Robert needs to man up. I believe that. I won't put it in that term for her, because, we are women. We're softer. She has different situations, and these are really emotional things that are happening to her. So I'm not going to put it in the same context, but I hope that she finds a way to handle her emotions a little bit better, but still open up and share her emotions, not to hide them, not to put them away, not to just stay strong, but not to be so whiny, a little bit clingy and whiny, and just, I just think it's a little too much. But all the best for her and Gino, and praying for that situation for them. Citra and Sam warned Citra, okay, my mom, she's super religious, and they're not really into the Muslim lifestyle. I believe they're Christian. So she comes and meets the family. She meets the mom and the grandma, which the grandma was really sweet and cute. But the mom, she wasn't too bad. And she did pose this question, which I think was a great question, is, if he doesn't convert to being Muslim, would you still be with him? And the answer she gave kind of sounds like she wouldn't. I wasn't fully sure what she was saying. I think she said something about, I wouldn't talk to him anymore, or we won't talk anymore, or something like that. So I'm not fully sure what her answer was. But I understand when people have different religious beliefs, and that's why you really have to find someone compatible with you. I do love a real good love story where even religion defies it, and you guys don't have to, succumb to those different standards of the world. Though I'm deeply into my faith, I understand people of two different religions can be together, can love one another. And as far as I know, it's different for the men. The men have to be Muslim when they marry Muslim women, but for the it's a different standard that I can't fully explain. Because I was talking to someone that had Muslim background. They were kind of back and forth on their belief systems, and basically they said, it's open for a Muslim man to marry a Christian woman. I think that that's possible, but for the women, they can't marry someone that's not Muslim. So if your culture is originally Muslim, you can't marry someone as a woman that's not Muslim. You have to have a Muslim head or covering over yourself as a woman. So that situation is what Sam and Citra's going through, and excuse my text notifications. But anyhow, yeah, that I wish that, in the perfect world, in a fairy tale, that, they can be together without him having to convert. He can stay a Christian and she can be a Muslim. But it seems like it's not going to be that easy, or not going to be that cut and dry. But it seems like the mom was really nice and accepting, but she is hoping that maybe somehow Citra may convert to being a Christian on some level. When they asked her some questions afterwards, she said, well, I'm praying that maybe that might be possible. So that's the situation with Citra and Sam. I think the mom's really sweet and caring. I don't really, for me, I don't know how deeply Sam was even into his Christian faith and belief system anyway. So I'm not sure how, uh, I feel like, in a way, I don't feel that you should have to convert to marry someone. And if you do feel so easily to convert, you probably weren't very committed to your faith in the first place. That may not be 100% true. And I believe people can do it, but it'll be really hard. But for him, it just seems like, I'm doing this and I want to be with this person, so I'm going to do it. And that's his motivation, versus him just saying, I really want to be a part of this new religion as well. It can be kind of tricky. Like, I think I mentioned it before. Would you give up your faith, your belief system to be with somebody that you loved and wanted to be with? That's really a hard question, especially if you are deeply committed to your faith and your belief system. It is what it is, and it can be difficult. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of notifications coming through, guys. Sorry. And we have one of my favorites, Nikki and Justin, like closing out with them. Nikki is really just losing it because Justin is revealing all these things, especially this thing about him being with other women during their relationship. And she can now see, Nikki's a transgender woman. She can now see that some of his attitudes, the way he was treating her negatively, was possibly because he had himself some side persons or some side pieces, and he was so caught up with that he didn't have time for her. So Nikki's still kind of devastated by that whole situation, and that he finally committed to her through proposal, but before that he was just recently sleeping with women. And again, Nikki feels that it has something to do with them being a transgender woman. And then another thing, Justin says, well, maybe we could do threesomes. So again, Nikki probably feels inadequate about that, saying, well, why do we have to bring another woman into this? I should be enough. I want to settle down. And Nikki also brings up some big information. May not be that surprising, but Nikki's done a lot of different type of sexual acts with guys and girls and multiple people at once, and basically said that they're done with that type of lifestyle and just want to settle down. But I was like, wow, you did a lot, Nikki. Thanks for sharing, but I don't know if I needed to know that, but Justin probably needed to know. But he sounds like he would have been into doing that now, but Nikki's like, no, this is not what I'm into. I want to be the only person. We're supposed to be getting married. And again, moms are a part of this episode. Nikki calls mom by phone and does a video chat with mom. It's like, what should I do? And should I assess this? A mom says you could walk away. You don't have to be with this person, which I think is kind of a good point. But also mom says, you can also put your foot down and say, this is what I want. And it's the lifestyle that I want, and you need to respect that and follow that. So I think mom had good advice. And whether you're transgender or whatever your sexual identity is, your sexual preference, it's another word that I'm trying to come up with. But whatever that is, that's no right for someone to disrespect you, and you shouldn't be disrespected and mistreated in a bad relationship just because you are transgender. And you shouldn't take that type of disrespect and feel like you don't deserve better. So whatever identity you have, you should always lead with self-respect and love for yourself, and you shouldn't just take anything from anyone. He's a very attractive guy, but is he worth it? You can find some people that, again, it's all about compatibility. I've learned this lesson with my own relationships, with my own situation recently. The compatibility was falsely appeared to be there, but there was a lot of things that were unsaid and things that were off. You really have to deep dive when it comes to these relationships. But again, on 90 Day, the religious compatibility is tested. And now we have even sexual compatibility that is being tested. And Justin really doesn't seem like he's all in when it comes to being with a transgender woman. At the end of the day, you have to find someone that is compatible with you And it shouldn't be a fight like every day, all the time. Anali and Clayton, he's a secret. Like, why is he a secret? Why do we have to keep these secrets between each other? Why does it have to be a fight? We should be able, at some point, there's going to be ups and downs, but a lot of our relationships should be harmony, peace, love, supporting each other, connecting with each other, and not all the fight. It makes for great TV, it makes for great reality TV on TLC, but in the long run, it's going to be very difficult to navigate something like that. And I've heard people that are into that drama, trauma, love situation where they feed off of each other's anger and upset and trauma. And I kind of think a little bit that Manuel and Ashley do that because they like to make up a lot. And so they like to fight, but then they like to make up, but then they're miserable at the same time. It's kind of a roller coaster for the average person. That's not the relationship that they want to be in, and it shouldn't be all about that struggle. But all the best for these couples, and hopefully people realize, either I should be in this or I shouldn't. Don't lead people on, don't disrespect people. Basically, I felt like I was misled in a relationship I was in as well. Don't lead people on. Don't mistreat people. Let them go. If you're having such a struggle being with somebody, maybe it's just not meant to be at the end of the day. All the best. We pray for love. We pray for marriage. We pray for God's plans for people's lives. And that's one reason why I celebrate this show, Faith, Love, and Trends. When I first started talking about this show, I was just into it personally, but to see how it lines up with our podcast, Faith, Love, and Trends, and how it celebrates marriage, and there's other shows out there that do that as well, but it's not a lot, and it's not a big thing where people celebrate marriage in this world and family, and even if it's a little unconventional as far as people being from other countries, it's a beautiful thing to be married, to have a union under God, and to start a family. It's part of God's plan. It helps boost society. It gives you harmony and peace in your life, mentally, physically, and spiritually, to have that family unit, and especially a stable family, which marriage is the center of that. So, it's all about faith, love, and trends in here. We celebrate family. 90 Day Fiance is one of those shows. And I just wish everyone all the best. We continue to talk about love and relationships. And we'll keep connecting with you right here on CBiz Media. This is Irene. Thoughts, questions, comments. Want to come on with me? We also have special guests as well that talk about different topics and share their world with us. You can email me anytime at cbiztv@yahoo.com. That's cbiztv@yahoo.com.